Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Fins from Team Gins here. Sorry I haven't really posted anything in God knows how long, but you know what? I've got a lot of great stuff coming your way these next couple of days. I've been playing a lot of Black Wings actually. Black Wings are really fun right now, and I've been testing out worms a lot with the new King Gremlin coming out, or King Feral Imp as they're gonna rename it, I think. But right now I've got my annual Zombiesworn deck profile. This is kind of the deck that I've always played. Not always played, but for the last couple of years and the last couple of formats definitely have played. I took this build to not regionals. What am I talking about? I took this to my locals a couple of weeks ago, and I got second place with it. I only lost one match that day, and that was to Dino Rabbit. Um, but for the most part, this is still a very fun deck. It's very different. I did a lot of new things with it, especially in the side and the extra deck. A lot of new surprises for you guys in here. It's still a very fun deck to play. It's still a very consistent deck to play. It's just a lot of people don't see it coming. There's a lot of so good combos in here. So without further ado, here we go. First off, your main boss monster, the one Blackluster Soldier. Gotta run it in this deck. All the lights and the darks, why wouldn't you run it? One Plague Spreader Zombie. For a while, I wasn't liking him as much. Obviously, I still ran him just because of the build, but recently, though, with Crimson Blader now out, it's so easy to make level 8s in this deck. Have level 4 in the field, Plague Spreader, put something on the top of the deck, make a 6, Plague Spreader effect, put something on top of the deck, make an 8, Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader is so great right now. Mizuki, still gotta run him. 3 Zombie Masters, still gotta run 3. I still think 3 is so good. He's like the main like combo piece to your deck. All of your main Exceed plays come out of him. Still have to run 3. 2 Goblin Zombie. Sometimes I wish I had that third, but it's inconsistent at 3. You draw too much late game, and then it sucks because you run out of targets really quickly from all the milling that you do. And to round up the zombie lineup, I still play Double Spirit Reaper. It's still so hard for people to get over. Um, it's so much fun to poke at your opponent with him. It's a great card, Spirit Reaper. Onto the Chaos lineup. 1 Chaos Sorcerer. I still miss him being a 2 in this deck. 2 Chaos Sorcerer was so ridiculous in this deck. I don't know if I had this in last format. Double Card Trooper, very, very good in this deck. Like, you don't know how many times I've opened up with Card Trooper and Dark Arm Dragon, summon Card Trooper, mill exactly 3 Darks. It actually does happen so much. Like, you wouldn't think it does, but it does. Then you could just bring out Dark Arm. It just gets things rolling. Not to mention, when he gets destroyed, it's a huge plus. Card Trooper is definitely necessary in this deck. 2 Necro Gardener, I get it, he's at 3. You don't want 3 though. 2 is just perfect. And Dark Arm Dragon. Now for the kind of hand trap lineup, we have 1 Gores. I sometimes side him out, actually. I don't like him all the time, just because you have so much field presence, you're almost going to have something on the field and he just sits in your hand for a while. 1 Honest. That's new. I've definitely been digging Honest. The Double Effect Veiler, I still think it's great in this deck. And probably the MVP of the deck, the big heavy hitter of the deck, is Double Trag. Tragodia is so ridiculous in this deck. You have so many different levels, you can take so many different things from your opponent. It's just, you always have a huge hand in this deck. It's so good. Next up was the Lightsworn lineup. Double Judgment Dragon. I don't like 3. I really don't like 3. You draw too much. Like, as it is, like yesterday, just dueling yesterday, I opened up with Double Wolf, Double JD, and a Monster Reborn. I couldn't do anything. It's just, you draw too much. Double Wolf, I still love Wolf, especially with Card Trooper and stuff like that. Plus, you have so many great discard outlets in this deck, it's never truly dead in your hand. 2 Raikou, 2 Lila, the 1 Celestia. I still think we have to run 1 Celestia. Even if you just pitch it with Trag to get your opponent's level 5, it's still a great move. And then the 1-ofs, 1 Jane, your big beater, One Erin, she puts in so much work. And one Lumina. I get it. Lumina's at 3. I hear that from everybody that you gotta run more than one. Not in this build. You really, really don't. There are so many times where you just draw into her first hand, or you don't have enough light swords in your graveyard, or you have like the perfect amount for Judgment Dragon in your graveyard. You don't want to draw more than one of her. You don't want more than one of her. One is perfect. One is perfect. That's it for the monster count. One charge of the Light Brigade to start off the spells. Double solar recharge. Sometimes I wish I had that third, but at the same time, you know, you're not running pure Lightsworns. You don't have that many. So, it just works at 2. Double Book of Life. One Monster Reborn. And one Dark Hole. That's it for the spells, and finally for the one trap, I still run the one Treacherous Trap Hole. It's still very fun to play. It's still very fun to set Necro Gardener first turn and set Treacherous, normal summon something from your opponent, then activate Treacherous Trap Hole, get your Necro Gardener right where you need him, and then blow up your opponent's monster at the same time. There's just so much that you can do with that. On to the extra deck. This has changed quite a bit, actually. One Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth. One Stardust Dragon. I still think Stardust is very good in this deck. One Scrap Dragon. And one Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader I actually go into a lot of in this deck. I think that I should probably pick him up like before he starts skyrocketing price. I get he's just a rare, but he's such a good rare. And I picked him up for $1 the other day. It's ridiculous. Alright, here's your, now for the XYZs. Level 3s are probably the most important part of this deck. One Leviair. One Musa Rhythm. I really actually like this guy a lot. He gets over a lot of things. He crashes with BLS. He gets over Gores. He gets over Machina Fortress. He gets over so much. And Giga Brilliant. Level 3s are so important in this deck just because you run so many of them between Necro Gardener and Spirit Reaper and Lumina and Card Trooper and other things. You run so many. For the level 4s, we got one Utopia and Zenmeister. Zenmeister helps you abuse Raikou and Lila. Sometimes I miss my Gem Knight Pearl, or wish that I had like Steel Swarm Roach in here or something. But for now, it's like most of the cards in this deck you just need on your own. You don't need to XYZ with them. You just need big beaters. So that's all for the 2 level 4s. But for the 3 level 4s, which come out more than anything, you have your one Shockmaster, main card of the deck. Very easy to go into. One Shark Drake. Does really big damage to your opponent's life points. And one Illuminite. Still love Illuminite. Illuminite is still like my secret weapon from time to time. You get to pitch anything that's dead in your hand just because it does happen from time to time. One Adrius, go into him plenty. One Heliopolis, because you run so many level 8s. And one Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because I side out Cyber Dragons and machines are a bitch to deal with right now. And finally, for the side deck, we have 2 Thunder King Ryo, 2 Cyber Dragon, which I go into quite a bit. I side out for them quite often. 2 Doom Caliber Knight. I just love opening up with Doom Caliber Knight. That's why I side him out. 2 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. These are supposed to be Gemini Imps, which I have in another deck right now, but this is just a funny out to Dark World players. The 2 Despair from the Dark. It's funny to have. Just because like they make you discard it and you get a big beater on the field. I'm like honestly, obviously, Gemini Imps is better, but they're in another deck right now. I side out Allure Darkness, just because all my dark targets in this deck I really need, and I don't want to remove them from play usually. 2 Zombie World, just because it shuts down Monarchs, which is still quite a problem in some cases. I get it like ruins like Celestia and stuff like that, but then I'll just side Celestia out from putting in Zombie World. And finally, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Well, that's the deck so far, guys. That's what I'm doing for this format. So be sure to tell me what you think below in a comment, and have a good day, guys.